What's up, YouTube? It's Matt the Woodshed Barber, and today we're talking about the Babyliss FX. So today we're talking about the Babyliss FX. Growing up in the business, there was three companies. It was Wall, it was Andis, and it was Oster. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, sometime around like 2005, 2006 maybe, Conair, who owns Babyliss, tried doing their own version of Barber tools. They already had the Babyliss line, and it was mostly just for cosmetologists, like, you know, curling irons or blow dryers. But they tried to have a Barber brand, and they called it the Forfix. Did not do well. I remember using one of their trimmers, and I just thought it was garbage. The battery did not hold well. It was one of the old nickel cadmium batteries. They tried some interesting things, though. They did come out with, you know, if I'm not mistaken, I think they had the click lever then. They had ceramic blades, which may have been the first company to do that. So, I mean, they were innovating while still creating a bad product. But about, as I remember, 6 or 7 years ago in the barber industry, and you can tell that they refocused on us. They started making clippers that were very familiar in our hands. This is the regular FX. And the way I say that they started focusing on what we were familiar with is because, you know, the classic 76, the Oster Model 10 had this flashlight round handle. Ergonomics. Now, you might be thinking, what ergonomics? It's a flashlight handle. Exactly. Sometimes whenever you're cutting, you don't just hold the clipper one way. Sometimes you're, you know, fading this way and flicking out. Other times you maybe turn the clipper on its edge to do something, or on this side to do something. Or if you're working on a flat top or doing some overhand clipper over comb, you turn it this way. And the thing I like about that is that the circular handle is consistent, which reminds me a lot of what I think maybe inspired the clipper, which is the classic 76 or the, you know, Progenic Model 10s, the original 111s from Oster. They all had that round handle, and I think that especially barbers having different cutting techniques back then, they found that having that round handle is super comfortable. The original, this one right here, the main things I like about it, now I do have a taper blade on it right now. The main things I enjoy about this, it's super quiet. You wouldn't think a clipper this big would be that quiet. But so this is what I'm going to be doing with our clipper reviews, is I'm going to keep talking while this is running. Because the way these microphones work, they tune in on sound. So if I'm quiet and I turn this on, that's all you're going to focus on. But if I turn it on while I'm talking, it's going to still pick up my voice like a conversation. And it shows you how loud this thing is not. Much different from the 76s, the Andis Masters, I mean, those are some loud clippers at times. And so Babyliss knocked it out of the park. For me, this application is mostly for kids. The FX nowadays, and I'll get into the boost, and that's why I'm saying this is for kids. This is so quiet and so calming around them that you can move around their ears pretty easily, and it's just a really good clipper. And that's another thing. So smart of them to do this. It has the ring that you can pull out, and you can hang it. I don't hang all my clippers, but I have one charging rack for both of my FXs. One charging base, I should say, for both of my FXs, and whenever one of them's on the charging rack and I'm not using it, I can just hang it up. The Boost Plus from Babyliss. They took everything that was good about the regular FX and made it better. It's more powerful motor. They've decided to put a fade blade on it, which I'm good with. It doesn't really matter to me, but if I'm going to have two of the same kind of clipper, one's going to have a taper, one's going to have a fade, most likely. But same familiar build, same flashlight feeling to it. However, now it's got the rubber grip on the handle. This is the, once again, I fiddle with everything. This is the, I forget the name of the Barber, but this is the influencer edition. It's usually got red here, but I took the silver from the regular FX and just swapped them out. Just like the look of it. So I'm gonna turn it on, keep talking, and you can hear it. I mean, it's more powerful. It's got a more powerful motor. It's a little bit more high pitched, I think, because of the speed difference. I think it went from like 6,500 RPMs to like 7,800 RPMs. They took what was good. They didn't fix what wasn't broken. And now you got this Boost FX. And I think that it is probably my favorite clipper to work with right now. And honestly, the other one that may be giving it any kind of run for its money is another Babyliss, and we'll get into that at a different time. I would say if you are getting into the barber industry and you're being hit on every side with all these new clippers, there's so many of them, and I know it's a lot to take in. Every year it seems like they're releasing more and more. The Babyliss FX, especially the Boost, is a good way to start. Get a charging base for it. I wish that's another thing, Babyliss, if you're listening at all to us, just throw those charging bases in there with the clipper. We'll pay an extra $20, $30 for it, but having to wait a year after a clipper comes out to get one is kind of a pain. But you make great clippers, guys. These are some of the best on the market. If you like this video, thumbs up this video. If you dislike it, please leave a comment in there. I'd love some positive criticism. I'm new to this barber YouTube game. I'm just trying to share what I've learned over the past 20 years and have some fun doing it. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.